Hello and welcome. So I need to do a video. I feel that this video I'm about to tell you is very important. So I found out a couple days ago through Facebook that my 90-year-old grandfather passed away on my dad's side of the family. And of course, not one relative of mine, including my brother Benjamin, notified me. I had to find out through Facebook when one of my relatives posted a comment and they sent a picture saying that he passed away. So now, I'm planning on going to their quote-unquote the Jehovah's Witness funeral / memorial service. Though my grandfather was never a Jehovah's Witness, I already read the obituary and they said that the memorial service of his death is going to be inside a Kingdom Hall. So now, before I go into details what's gonna happen when I go to this Kingdom Hall memorial service for my grandfather, which is going to be August the 24th, year 2019, I'm gonna go through a review of all the encounters, or what I say, when I spoke with my Jehovah's Witness relatives. So now let me start in year 2008 when I found out that my granny on my mom's side passed away. Now us grandchildren were always close to Granny. So of course it was very heartening when she found out she passed away. So now, when I went to their Kingdom Hall memorial service, 99% of my Jehovah's Witnesses acknowledged me. Those, of course, the ones who shunned me. Just for that one day. I remember when my cousin Stephanie acknowledged me. And this is exactly how she reacted towards me. Hello, Victor. How are you doing? Now, she was very cold-hearted. She showed no love to me at all. Very cold. And then, of course, at that exact same day and time, that was her mother, Claire, my aunt. Now, she is one of two of my relatives at that Kingdom Hall memorial service that wouldn't even acknowledge me. They act like I didn't exist. And I kind of knew that, and it kind of bothered me. I remember I told my mom the very next day after our Granny Cornwell's memorial service, my mom called me and said, "Is everything all right?" And I said, "Well, yeah, everything went okay, but what's up with your sister?" You know what? She was so cold-hearted. She wouldn't even acknowledge me. At least be cold-hearted at least and just say hello to me. But she was completely shunning me. So my mom, of course, said, "Well, you know what, Vic? I'll talk to her in the next couple days and I'll see what's going on." And so within a week's time, I got back with my mom and I asked her, "Did you talk to your sister?" And she shook her head and said yes. And I said, "And what did she say?" And she goes, "She actually said that she felt very uncomfortable around me. Though I was in their quote-unquote Kingdom Hall, that she still felt that she was feeling uncomfortable around me." And she also told my mom that, and I quote, that I shouldn't been welcomed to go to my own grandmother's wake. You know, like when they have a funeral and then the funeral's over, they have a gathering and they all talk about that person who passed away. Yep, my mom told me that my aunt felt that I shouldn't been welcome to be there. Of course, it's obvious that I shouldn't have been welcomed for one reason and one reason only, because I'm not a worshiper of the Watchtower. Now, the third person on that exact same day was my Aunt Kathy's husband. And he also was avoiding me like a plague at that memorial service for my granny. And of course, my mom asked the same thing. Long story short, he also said that he was very uncomfortable around me. And I know I saw him at that Kingdom Hall back in the year 2008, and he had that look like, he had that "you disgusting pig" look. So to me, that was totally uncalled for a special situation. Now let me go fast forward to year 2012. Now, in year 2012, I found out that my aunt passed away. Now, my aunt and my cousin Michael and my cousin Melanie, we pretty much grew up in the same Kingdom Hall since the 1970s. So right before I left the Watchtowers organization, which was year 2004, I was very close to my Aunt Nan. I spent a lot of time with her. She was disabled, so I took her I had a car, so we went a lot of Walmart shopping and pet shopping. I spent a lot of time in her apartment. So I was really heartbroken when I found out she passed away. So when I found out she passed away, within 24 hours of her death, I contacted my cousin Melanie, who's been disassociated since 1997. I told her, do you know your brother's number? I like to text him and just give him my condolences. And of course, my cousin Melanie said, okay, I'll give you the number. Just make sure, just be short and sweet. Don't bring up the Watchtower bull crap. Just say, hey, Michael or Mikey, I'm so sorry about the loss of your mom, blah, blah, blah. So she gave me the number, and I text him, again, within 24 hours of his mother's death. I made it short and sweet. Hey, Mikey, this is your cousin Victor. Hey, I found out that your mom passed away. Gosh, she was a real nice person. I'm real sorry about your loss. Love you. The end. Now, within 1 week, he never acknowledged me. But within that week, my little brother calls me. And he's like, Victor, did you contact Michael? And I'm like, who? Our cousin Michael? Mikey? And she says, my brother's like, yes. I'm like, yes. Her mom passed away within about a week ago. My brother's like, oh my God. Michael is furious. He says that he wants nothing to do with you. You need to leave him alone. Don't ever contact him again. He wants nothing to do with you. Now keep this in mind. When his mom passed away, my cousin Michael, like he is today, he was a Jehovah's Witness elder. And for being a religious leader in our old congregation, he was cold-hearted, showing no love, being rude and inconsiderate. Now I remember I told my brother that too, and I'm like, what the hell, Benjamin or Beaner? His mom passed away, for Christ's sake, and he's gonna be cold-hearted like this and be a jerk? And my brother actually said, yeah, I know, I think Michael is overreacting to this whole situation. It's not like you brought up that Jehovah's Witness bullshit. But you know what? I can't tell him what to do. He's older than I am. He's an elder. And just leave him alone, Vic. I was like, what a jerk. So, of course, that's a next relative of mine. How he acted towards me. Also, that exact same time when I found out that my Aunt Nan passed away, and I called my mom about it, and I was like, oh God, that's so sad. And we were on the phone. We weren't texting. We were on the phone, and I told my mom, please let me know when the memorial service is at. And you know what my mom said? And I quote, Vic, you're not welcome to come to it. Why not? I'm still her nephew, and her excuse was, because you speak so bad about the truth. Now, the truth. Let me rephrase that. Now, my mom used the word, I spoke so bad about the truth, but if you rephrase it, it's more like, I speak so bad against the Watchtower, because that's what I did, and I do. And of course, I didn't go to it. I could have. What are they going to do? Kick me out? But I did find out that my cousin Michael and my Aunt Claire both told my mom that, please don't bring your son. He's not a Jehovah's Witness anymore. He no longer worships the Watchtower's organization. He's an apostate. That's the word Jehovah's Witnesses love to call anyone and everyone who's no longer a Jehovah's Witness. Whatever. There we go. Another person. Now, the very next year, it was in December of 2013. And this is about 6 years ago, I found out that one of my cousins on my dad's side passed away. And I remember it was on a Saturday. I was still a school bus driver, so of course I still had the weekends off. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go to this memorial service in Wilcox, the same place I'm going to be going to in another 3 to 4 days. And I was going to go for 2 reasons. Of course, giving my condolences to my aunt of her loss of her son. And of course, I haven't seen my relatives on my dad's side for more than a decade when this happened in 2013. So I thought, I want to go see everyone, see how they're doing. So I went over there. Again, 4-hour trip to get there. It was actually at a funeral home, open casket and all. So I got there before the eulogy started. I shuffled down the aisle, walked up to the casket, gave my piece. I sat down at the funeral home, and a couple of my relatives acknowledged me. Hey, how you doing? And then, of course, my stepmom approached me. And, of course, my stepmom and I are only 3 years apart. So currently, in the year 2019, I'm 42, and my stepmom is now 45. So my stepmom approached me at that funeral home 6 years ago. And this is what she said to me. She looks at me and she says, "Hello, Victor. How are you doing?" Again, just like my cousin Stephanie, she was very cold-hearted, showed no love. She acted like I was a stranger to her. Now, I didn't see my dad before the eulogy was about to start, so I'm thinking, where is he? And then finally, moments later, the speaker was going to come up and do the eulogy. And guess who did the eulogy? Yeah, it sure wasn't Michael Jackson or Oprah Winfrey. It was my dad, who again, like he was 6 years ago and like he is now, he was an elder. So he did the eulogy. Of course, he did the whole thing, a whole Jehovah's Witness style eulogy. And when it was over and done, before we followed the casket to the cemetery and bury my relative, my dad approached me. And he has this look. And he says this exact quote: "Oh, Victor, I didn't know you were going to be here." Now, my dad didn't do like a normal parent would do. "Oh, Victor, how are you doing?" And no, he looked at me. He didn't even say hello to me even. He looked at me and he says, once again, "Oh, Victor, I didn't know you were going to be here." Now, when he said that, I right away, I love bombed him. Yeah, I'm a school bus driver, and we don't drive school buses on the weekends, and so I had some time off, and my cousin, he was my cousin, and how are you doing? I gave him a nice hug. He acknowledged me, and of course he did say after I gave him a hug, and I love bombed him, and how's everything going, and how's Ginger, my stepmom, how's my half brother and half sister? Yeah, they're good, Victor. Just he acted just like everyone else did. He was just very nonchalant, very cold-hearted. He acted like I was a stranger to him. Now, I'm going to go into the next section. A couple of years later, 2015, October the 1st. Not actually Halloween, October the 31st, 2015. And I was in a new relationship and I had a day off. I wanted to get out of town from Phoenix. And so I decided that I was going to go to my relatives up west. Not west, up south. I was very familiar with that neighborhood, where they lived in, where my grandmother lived in, all my other aunts on my dad's side, my uncles. And when I got there, you know, they have my Aunt Terry's old house, my Aunt Esther's house, my grandma's house, their old house. It's all lined up. And so when I got there, I went to my old Terry's house. She doesn't live there anymore. She lives in Tucson. I just went to see what it looked like, and I see a woman kind of walking around by herself in the desert. And when I got close, it was my Aunt Terry. So of course I got out of my car. Of course she had that shock, like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "Victor." I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" I would love bombing her. "Hey, how you doing? How's everything going?" "Oh, what are you doing here?" "I'm just doing a day trip." "Oh, okay. Well, she says, everyone's is at my mom's house. Go over and say hi to them." So I said, "Cool, I'll do that." So then I decided to go, before I go talk to my grandma in her trailer, I went to their infamous chicken coop where my brother and I used to play when we were kids. And I see another woman walking around. I realized it was my Uncle Manny's wife, which they're now divorced. And of course, she was never a Jehovah's Witness. Man, she was so loving, so nice. "Hey, how you doing?" Gave me a good hug. She's like, "Everyone there in your grandma's house, go say hi to them." So I said, "Okay, cool." So when I was done looking at the chicken coop, I finally knocked at my grandma's door. It's a trailer again, so it's not like it's in a mansion. And it got real quiet, and I heard footprints, and no one answered. So after I waited, I knocked a lot harder, and I heard a lot louder footprints. Obvious, someone's in there, but they're being real quiet. "Shh, Victor's here. Let's make him think that we're not here." So, no one answered. So I was looking confused. I'm like, I hear footprints. It's very obvious people are in there, but they're not acknowledging me. Moments later, before I left, a car started driving away, and it was my Aunt Esther, who is a Jehovah's Witness in the Spanish congregation. Of course, her and her husband, her grown-up children, she, of course, was very nice. "Hey, Victor, what are you doing here? Day trip? Oh, nice to see you." Of course, her husband just looked at me like, "Who the hell are you?" Kids are also, as a girl, they just looked at me like, So again, my own grandmother wouldn't acknowledge me. So now we come to the conclusion of the video. So, there was a pattern, and I'm sure you know what I just told you. Each encounter, when I ran into my Jehovah's Witness relatives, I gave my utmost love to them. No matter how much they treated me, how much they didn't acknowledge me, no matter how much cold-hearted bitches that they were, because they were, I decided, when I go to this Kingdom Hall memorial service in today's Wednesday, that's 3 days from now. When I go to this Kingdom Hall memorial service, I'm going to be very different. And you know what? When I get there, I'm going to get there very early, before the memorial service starts. I know there's going to be a lot of Spanish speakers, because of course my grandmother's in the Spanish congregation, so people will try to speak Spanish, and I'm going to look at them and say, "Sorry, don't know Spanish." And they all might speak back to English, and, "Oh, who are you? What's the relationship with the death?" Of course I'll say, "I'm his grandson." By blood. And I think, actually, I'm not going to think, I'm going to do it. When I get there and I start roaming around, and if I run into my dad, which I know I will, and my stepmom, I'm going to completely ignore them. Now, if my stepmom approaches me, which I'm sure she probably will, and she'll be cold-hearted, I'm not gonna look at her and say, "Hey, Ginger, how you doing?" and give her a hug and say, "I'm so sorry about my grandpa." If she acknowledged me like she did last time, and she says, "Oh, hello, Victor," I'm gonna look at her and say, "Excuse me? Are you speaking to me? Or are you speaking to my dad, Victor? You know, I am a junior." And then when she says, "I'm speaking to you," I'm gonna roll my eyes and say, "Okay, whatever." And I'm gonna turn my head and walk away. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, okay." Nope. I'm gonna be completely cold-hearted. And if my dad approaches me, I'm already warning you this now. If my dad approaches me, like I said, I don't know how he's gonna react. I don't ever see my dad cry. I only see my dad cry once in my life. That was when my parents were in the process of divorcing. So I don't know if he's actually gonna cry of his loss of his dad. But if he approaches me and does that repeat 6 years ago when my cousin passed away and says, "Oh, Victor, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here," I'm going to look him right in the eye and I'm going to say these exact words. "Excuse me? You know, is that all you could say to me? You said that exact same thing when my cousin passed away 6 years ago." And then his reaction is gonna he's not gonna know how to react. He's gonna be looking at me like, "What in the hell just happened?" And then I'm gonna look at him and say, "You know what? If that's all you're gonna say is, 'Oh, I didn't know you're gonna be here,' I have nothing to say to you." And I'll look him right in the eye, and then I'll turn my head and I'll walk away. Act like I don't even know who he is. Then, of course, to piss him off worse, all my non-Jehovah's Witness relatives, of course, I'm going to love bomb them. I'm going to go to my two uncles who'd never been a Jehovah's Witness, who tried to study with my dad years ago. I'm going to give them hugs. I'm going to give them, "I'm so sorry." When I go to my Uncle Manny, and of course, hopefully I'll meet his husband. Hopefully he's going to be nice to me. I haven't seen him for more than 15 years. So hopefully he'll be nice to me. And his husband will be nice. Never met him either. He's a doctor. He has a doctorate degree in chemistry. I hope they're going to be nice to me also. And of course, if they do, I'm going to show the utmost love to them. But all those who shuns me, I'm going to be a cold-hearted bitch. And I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if... Because there'll be a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses in there, English or in Spanish. You know, they might get mad at me. They might look at me and say, "You know what? You need to leave." My point of this is, why is it okay to Jehovah's Witnesses, my Jehovah's Witness relatives, treat me like crap? Be cold-hearted to me. But of course, if an ex-Jehovah's Witness that I am, I disassociated myself back in year 2012. But of course, if I do the same thing what they do, they're going to be all huffing and puffing and, "Oh my God, how dare you be cold-hearted to us? All we do is worship the Watchtower." So my end of this video is this: if I have an issue or a problem with my dad and he starts confronting me, I might look at him right in the eye and I might whisper to him and say, "Dad, I want to let you know, I know all about the Australian Royal Commission, case number 29, 1,006 known pedophiles never reported to the police since the 1950s. Dad, I know about the current class action suit in Canada of $66 million. Oh, and Dad, I know the most recent encounter in Montana of two ladies earlier this year who just won $35 million from Jehovah's Witness elders not reporting it to the police. Don't try to fool me, Daddy dearest." My dad, if I say that, I'm sure he's going to say that this discussion is over. And I'm going to look at him like I do with my crazies on my bus. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So it's going to be something. And then, again, the last thing I'm going to say before I let this go. Also, my uncle Sam and his wife. You know, when I found out in 2016 that he has a very long criminal record of including being arrested 64 times, and me finding out that at one point or another that he raped his wife and committed incest, molested, and actually became a registered sex offender when he raped his own children, which are boys. Yeah, I found out about that in 2016. So I don't know what his reaction is going to be, 'cause I know he's going to be there. I know that when I see him, when I'm roaming around that Kingdom Hall before the memorial services there, and I see him and his wife, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to look at him and have this cheesy smile. I'm going to say, "Oh, well, Samson Vensuelo Hernandez, I presume." He's going to have that look like, "Oh my God." So I hope you enjoyed this video. And so again, I'm going to upload this today, and I am going to be recording this whole encounter at the Kingdom Hall. The moment I park at that Kingdom Hall, I'm going to push record. Now, it's not going to be an actual video. It's going to be all audible, because you never know what's going to happen. And I promise you, I will be uploading of the encounter when I get to the Kingdom Hall. But it's going to be interesting. Oh yes, before I forget, gosh, I'm forgetting everything. I'm also very interested to see if my brother and his wife and my niece and nephew are going to be there. Because, you know, to this day in 2019, I still, not even once, I've never met my niece and nephew. And they live, less than 5 miles away from where I live at. Nope. Again, I tried to many years ago do what my mom, what my brother wanted me to do, is just stop talking about Jehovah's organization, or should I say, the Watts Towers organization. And there was a time when I wanted to meet and visit my niece and nephew, so I stopped altogether talking about my former religion. I remember it was like a 6 month period. I approached my brother, and I'm like, "Hey Ben, I'm doing really good now. I'm not talking bad at all about the Watts Towers organization. You think I can meet my niece and nephew soon?" My brother looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, you're doing really good, brother, or Vic. Keep it up. Maybe one day I'll let you meet my kids." But did he do it? No. And I've done this in other videos recently. You know what? You Jehovah's Witnesses, you worshipers of the Watts Tower, it's too late. I'm now never going to shut up. Just like Karen Carpenter always liked to sing, "I've only just begun to live, white lace and promises, a kiss from luck, and we're on our way." So, it's almost coming up to 30 minutes in this video, so I don't want to reach more than 30 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and it's gonna be an experience of a lifetime. I just wanted them to see their reaction to my face, because I know that when they think that when I get there, I'm gonna be love bombing them. "Hey Dad, how you doing?" I'm not gonna give him a hug. I'm not gonna shake his hand. I'm not gonna "How you doing?" I'm gonna avoid him like a plague. I'm gonna act like I don't know who this man is. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had to go back to do my laundry at the laundromat. Talk to you later.